Uh, damn it. That I kind of hurt a little bit, that loss. I thought, thanks for tuning in, guys. Damn. You're all probably going to react. You probably reacted in that last minute like I did, or just when the siren went. It's just kind of like this, fuck, we should have taken that game. Those are the sort of games that, you know, the teams that sneak into the 8, the teams that sneak into the top 4, that are in finals contention, take. Final score was Fremantle 71, Saints 66. Fuck, I hate saying that. They kicked 11-5. They were accurate. We kicked, 9, 12, 21 scoring shots to 16, and we lost. In the end, that 31-point deficit that we put ourselves into in the second quarter was a bit too much effort to get back. It's just the start of that game that killed us. The start of the game is where you need to kind of stamp your authority, away from home especially, and silence the crowd. We gave them a buffer. We gave them something to protect. And although we were so close for so long for that second half, and we, to be fair, we were, I thought in general play, I thought we were the better team. We had the ascendancy. They had a bit more star power up front, and they kicked straighter when it counted. But I thought that, you know, up until maybe 10 minutes into the second quarter, when they were 31 points ahead, we did something that we would, as Saints fans, we don't expect from the team of the last 2 or 3 years, which was to get fucking stuck in and to say no more of this shit. After Bruce kicked that goal and the way he pumped up the team, it just got everyone up. You know, Membry kicked one, Gresh kicked one, Billings at the end. Like, they're all getting stuck in, and that's why, even though, you know, we lost, it's not like those losses last year, guys. You know, I flew to Perth and I saw us play Fremantle, and we were shocking that day. We kicked 1-5 to halftime. In this game, you know, although we didn't win, the effort was incredible. The players did not stop trying. But that's no excuse for missing simple passes, for making critical decisions that an AFL player should make in crunch moments. And I think that's probably why we didn't win. You know, that's probably why we didn't win. We just weren't clean enough for long enough, and that's as simple as it gets. I don't think Fremantle were better than us. I thought they were better in that starting period, that first 40 minutes where they got that buffer. But I think for the last part of the game, apart from maybe 5-10 minutes, you know, in the third and fourth quarters, when they kicked a couple of goals to get out, we were there. You know, the inside 50 count in the end, they were dominant in that aspect. It was like 25-4 or something at one point, and it ended up being, sorry, I'm looking down here at my laptop, it's got all the stats, and then it ended up being 55-50 their way. That we only lost it by 5. You know, we were getting dominated in the starting game. I like that we adjusted something. It seemed like we went a bit more defensive, but the one thing that I thought it hindered our last term, where we needed to go fast, we needed to go strong, and we left our run too late. We need to start games better. We started slow against Gold Coast, and we overcame them. And look at them, 2-1 now. They were in the same ballpark as us. And, you know, Essendon, we started well, and you see how that benefits a team. You get confidence. We had to chase in the heat, and it looked tiring just watching them. Like, it literally just looked tired of them chasing and running. But I thought our midfield crew was excellent. I thought Seb Ross was great. You know, with no Jack Stephen in the team, Hunter Clark came in and did a good job. Jack Billings was enormous. I mean, I've got his stats down here. I'll just have a look at what he ended up with for us. But he ended up with 32 and 2 goals for Jack Billings. What else can you ask for? You know, that's an excellent performance for a guy that's been, you know, the player that we've been waiting for, you know, to lead that midfield. And it looked like he really wanted to cherish that role today, and he did an amazing job. The number 1 ranked player on the ground for St Kilda in this game was Rowan Marshall. And what a fucking great game. He had 40 hit-outs along with 16 disposals and 6 tackles for a ruckman. That's incredible numbers for our ruckman, and you couldn't ask much more of the rest of the team. I just thought that for too long we let them dictate the forward entries, you know, let them bomb it and put our defence under pressure. I wanted to be more proactive in the midfield. I wanted to stop them. That's what we did. We stopped Essendon last week from doing that, from peppering. But when you've got Taberner, you've got Hogan, you've got McCarthy, Rory Lobb, resting down there. It's too much height, and then they've got the likes of Walters, Brad Hill, the guy that killed us at the end. What was his name? Used to play for Gold Coast. Him, he kicked a couple of goals at the end, and they were really important. It's just, it was a what-if sort of game. Like, I can't even complain that much. It was just like, there's the end, there's the finish line, go and take it. And we just struggled to do that in the end. We struggled to really finish them off. We couldn't just get on with the job. It was just kind of too much left too late, I thought. But, I mean, if I'm being, if I really summarise this game, I thought we were the better team. We missed some easy chances. We weren't clean enough. Freo took some critical chances in that last quarter. Membry missed one. Bruce shanked one. There was just too many like that, and that's just what it is. You don't kick straight away from home, you don't win. But we're 3 games in. We've been excellent in pre-season. We're excellent in the first 2 games, and we were almost 3-0 travelling to Perth against a Fremantle team that's kind of going somewhere. They're better than they have been, and we played them on their home deck and almost took it when I thought we weren't even at our best, which is good, because when we're at our best, hopefully next week we've got Hawthorn back at home. We can go in with some confidence. We didn't get battered. We were nowhere near the lesser team in this game, and we're missing players like Jay Carlisle, Dylan Robertson, Jack Stephen, Paddy McCartan, Dean Kent is on the edge. If Ben Long plays that game, I reckon we almost win that. And that's not saying anything on Dean Kent, but there's just some decisions that he made where he played on, but he turned the ball over. Critical decision, and then they went up the other end. I think they kicked a goal from it. But I'll stop ranting, guys, but let's go through some of your comments while we have you. There's a few here. Too many bombs, hoping someone will grab it. Also, goal kicking is terrible and not sure what the goal kicking coach is teaching. That's from Mohammed. That's a very good point. Daniel says, what are your thoughts on Dean Kent? Dean Kent, doesn't matter what my thoughts are. Let's see what his stats were, guys, and we'll judge for ourselves. Dean Kent finished with 10 kicks. He finished with 15 disposals, by the way, which is no mean feat. Kicked 1 behind. This is the big one that I think the coach is going to look at. He didn't lay a single tackle. So, doesn't matter what I think of him. He didn't lay a tackle, and he's supposed to be a pressure forward. On the other hand, if you look at guys like Jack Loney, he laid 4 tackles. Where's Matty Parker? Matty Parker laid 4 tackles. So you're seeing already there that they're not kicking goals, those guys, but they're putting pressure on the opposition, and he didn't do that, so I think he's in trouble just because of the fact that he didn't lay a single tackle. Kicking to 2-on-1s every time, Jay says. Heartbroken, this is Jay's heartbroken, but plenty of good to take out of the game. Marshall and Clark must stay in 22. Let's keep going. There's so many comments, guys. Awesome job. I'm amazed that there's that many people commenting. Charlie says, shame, should have stitched them up in the third. We're a better team this year. I think we are. I think that's all we need to take from this. We are a better team this year. It's a bit heartbreaking to see Brisbane do what they're doing, and I feel like we almost play if we play Fremantle, which we never do. We never play them at fucking home, do we, guys? We never play them in Melbourne anymore. We always have to travel and play West Coast and Fremantle away. We did that last year. We never played them here. We always seem to do well in Melbourne, but we don't get enough of those games. I don't know if you guys agree. Marshall has to stay all year. Bloke's a gun. Do you think our clearance has killed us? I think in terms of overall stats, we weren't doing that well when it came to clearances. In the end, it was 42-36 Fremantle's way. They had 3 more uncontested. They had 1 more tackle, so we laid 69 tackles, which is still excellent. We had more hit-outs, more interchanges. They had nearly 50 more disposals, more free kicks, and, they won on the scoreboard. Marks in the 450 would be great. Can't hit a target going forward. That's what Jason reckons. I agree with him. Joe says, disappointed, yes, but cannot complain about the boys' effort. If we kick straight, we win. Simon says, agree with you. There was no way we were going to win many of those bombs against the Freo defence. No, we had to play around them, and I thought we were better when we took the game on. We used handballs. The guys like Sinclair, Akers, Gresh, Loney, Seb Ross getting on their feet and running. That's when we looked at our best. I didn't think we looked at our best when we were bombing it to the top of the square with Bruce and Membry with the Giants there. They read it. Hamling just had a day out in that back line. Damo says, when our midfielders going to learn how to produce positive forward entries? Oh, and how good are our goal kicking? Yeah, so a lot of sarcasm in that comment. Daniel says, kicking all those points killed us, really? Otherwise we would have won. Lighten up. I'm pretty happy, to be honest. If we had Jack Steven, we win, no doubt. Proud of the boys to get this close. This time last year, it would have been 50-point margin their way. Shows how far we've come. I think so too. I think that last year when we were down by 31 in this game, with the coaching staff we had and the strategy we had with Richo, we lose that game by 60. But in this game, it seems like, Richo, the other coaches around him are helping him to adapt during the game, and that got us back into the game. It just didn't get us enough to win, but it got us into a competitive, space, and we almost did it. So who knows if you have the likes of Hanbury, fully fit, Carlisle, Robertson, all these guys back, if we go and do it again, we probably win that game. Billings was amazing. Great to see him take the game apart. That was Chris. We will be 2-2 after network. We're playing Hawthorn, who lost to... Who did they lose to the week before? They lost to the Dogs. You never know. Like they started slow today and they beat a shit North Melbourne. I think we're much better than North Melbourne. So I think at Marvel, hopefully with Jack Steven back, we'll be in a good position to take on the Hawks. The team seems to be under the misapprehension that we have a tall forward line and they can just bomb it in. Hunter Clark was great. We had a crack, but at the end of the day, you can see the missing of a star player. 100%. That's the best comment so far, guys. If we have a... Okay, Dusty's a bad example because he's been in shit form. But if we have see what Lachie Neale's doing for Brisbane, see what De Goey can do for Collingwood, see what Gaff coming back can do for West Coast. If we had an A-grade player, forward, mid, anywhere, we win that game. They have, Walters. I don't know if you classify him as A-grade, but he's very good. Bradley Hill. Don't know if you classify him as A-grade. He's very good. Nat 5, absolutely A-grade. And he put them in the position before he got injured. And that's when I thought we had a chance. When he got injured. They almost got better because it seemed like they had more variety. When it's 5, you're focused on 5. And the team on their end can be focused. Like when we had Rewalt, you're focused on that forward. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter because they got the job done. So frustrating, so close next week, I suppose. Clark to stay in the team. Pressure is back to top shelf level, I think so. Midfield was a joke and the skills were pathetic. Awful to watch, and I hope they get the footies out at the training for once. That's a harsh comment, mate, but, open to any comments. We'll leave it on this comment. Let's go with Sarah. It's so disappointing not to get the win, but our effort was so improved. The St Kilda of last year would have conceded a 40-plus point loss when Freo for their run-on in the second. Our kicking was frustrating, but the effort wasn't. And that's true. Our skills were a bit off, but our effort, endeavour, pressure, tackling, chasing, gut running was all there. And no doubt, if we do that and we can tidy up the skills, we're going to be a scary team to play at Marvel Stadium and really anywhere. And I'm excited to see how we bounce back from this, playing Hawthorn next week, who are renowned for their foot skills. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. We lost by fucking 5 points. It was 71-66, and it's so frustrating, but I'm also not upset. I'm just... damn, that should have been ours. And I think that's how the players should feel today. They shouldn't feel upset about how they played, how they performed. They should just feel upset that they just weren't clean enough, and they should have won this game. We should have won this game. I don't say that often, because we're never that close and that dominant for a certain period of time, but we should have won that game today, and I think that's all we have to take from it. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for this video. It's going to go up on YouTube. It'll be on Spotify if you don't get a chance to watch it now. Keep the comments coming. This has been my highest viewed one ever. It's been over 100 of you and lots of comments. So thanks so much. I'm not disappointed. And I think that's what we all have to take from this. Don't be upset about the loss. Just look at it and be like, the team's going to come back next week and let's give them all the support they deserve after that hard game that they got, and let's just rock up at Marvel next week when they play the Hawks and let's fucking bury them into the ground. Anyway, guys, I'm Jake. Thanks so much for watching. See you next week.